Hi, this is a Python tutorial of restaurant management system. Let me just show you guys how it works. Now, there we have large fries. So let's say we're going for 3 large fries, maybe 1 burger meal, 1 fillet o meal, maybe 2 fillet o meal, and here we have 1 chicken meal and cheese meal. Then maybe about 6 drinks there. So all we need to do is click on total there, and you see the reference number. We can even reset if we want, or if you are not sure of this calculation here, you can always use our calculator right here just to work out the value for everything. Okay, so you can always use the calculator right there. Okay, and you can use the reset button as well. Reset, and clear that, and you can exit. So what I will do is to exit this system now, and I'll take you guys straight on to Python development environment, and we'll put one of these together. Exit. Now we're in Python. Let's start a new program. File, new. Okay, the first thing I will do is to import as follows. So I'm going to import tk, let's import all of the components within that system. But I will also need to import my random library there, because I'm going to need that for the reference number. The other thing I would need is I need the time. Okay, you might be wondering, maybe all of those libraries are in here. I've checked, they are not in there, so that's why I'm importing them all separately. Then the name, let's give our app a name. Let's call that root, and the root equals tk, entire parentheses there. Then the next thing I'm going to do is to define the size of my app. So let's go for geometry. Alright, that's my, let's go for 1600 by, that's a times 800 plus 0 plus 0, which means the system will start up here somewhere. And that is that for now. So the next thing, let's give it a name. So dot title, and that will be, we're going to call that restaurant management system. Restaurant management systems. Okay, so let me just end this very first part here. So I'll say root.main and loop there. If we compile and run this, let's one thing first, let's enter a comma there. Okay, semicolon there. So let's go to, before we can compile and run, we have to save it. I'm going to save it on my desktop. I'll call it restaurant underscore system. So that's what I'm going to call that. Let's save it right there on my desktop. So let me run it so that you guys see what we've done so far. Okay, we have an error here. What might the problem be? Okay, meant to enter a speech mark there. That is it. And right there, that is our form right there. See how big it is? Let's run it again. Right there. Okay, the next thing I would like to do now is, let's come down here. I'm going to create 3 frames. I will call the first one tops equals frame. That is the frame object I'm calling now, and the frame object is going to be within the root. and the width equals 1600, while the BG, that's for background color, let me make that my favorite color, powdered blue. Okay, then maybe I should, yeah, why not? So let's just make that sunk, that right there. Okay, we have it as relief equals sunken. So now we need to pack this. Let's pack it. Tops dot pack. I want that side equals top. I want it right on top there. Okay, so that is my very first one. So I can just copy this. Copy. Now come in here. I'll call this other one. I need two more. I'll call this. Let's go for frame 1. And this one will be frame 2, F2. Okay, now I need to change this, the width. Let's change the width to 800 and the width of this to approximately 300, but I need a height. Let me specify height for this. Height equals, let's go for 700. Let's copy all of that, paste that here. Alright, okay, now I want this to be on the left hand side. Let's go for left, and the other one, let it be on the right hand side. Right, yeah. Okay, Control S to save. Now let's run it and see how it will look like. That is how my program look like now. Okay, you can see the very first one. You might not be able to see the other one there because there's no height there, but just for you to confirm, let me put height in there for you so that you guys can see that. Let's make that approximately 50. Save and run. Let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of that. Save and run again. Right there, you can see the other one there. Okay, the first thing I want to do now is to use one of these frames. Let's develop, I think maybe we should develop the calculator first, or maybe the title. Let's see. Okay, I might as well just create the title first. So I'm going to call that LBL info, okay, equals label, and the label, I would like it to be inside top frame. The font of this label equals area, okay, comma, and let's make that approximately 50. And I would also like this font to be bold. Okay, now let's close that and enter as follows. Okay, so that is my label there that will display the font. So the next thing is we need to, let me enter a location for this very object. So I would like it to be on row, that will be row equals 0, comma, and the column equals 0. Close that. So if I run this now, let's run it so that you guys see it fully. That should work. Now right there. Okay, now the next thing I'll do is, I'm just going to copy this. I want a date and time right underneath there somewhere. So for the date and time, let's enter row 1 column 0, and here I'm going to need my function for time. So let's create a function for time right here, maybe underneath here. So right underneath here, let's place it right here. Let's go for local time equals time dot assign time. So time dot local time. Okay, so let's enter time dot time, enter your parentheses, and 1, 2, then this one more. That is for my time. Hopefully that should work. So I'm going to copy that and just assign that to the text content there. Okay, that should be my local time. So if I run it, let's run it and see how that will look like. Right there, that's my local time. It seems to be too big now, so let's come back in here and just reduce the font maybe to 10 or 20. Let's go for 20 and see. We can always reduce it more. Okay, that is my local time right there. Now let's try and create maybe the calculator. Okay, we start by creating the calculator, but before then let me just enter just a comment so that I know what's in there. That's for time, and this is just for system information. So let's enter information there, info there. And now for the calculator, so that you don't get confused, so I will also advise you to have a good look at the codes. Now to start with the calculator, I'm going to say txe display, okay, equals entry. That's supposed to be the object I'm going to be using, so that is the rest of my codes. Alright, so this calculator will be inside frame number 2. Okay, and you can see the font. This variable has to be declared, which I have not declared yet, so I'm just going to copy that and come maybe right up here somewhere. Okay, paste that in there and say equals string variable parenthesis. So that is that. So if I run and save, let's save and run. There you can see the display of my calculator right there. Okay, what is left for us to do now is to start work on the buttons. Okay, for the very first button I will enter as follows. Let's go for button number 7 equals button. So calling the button widget itself, and that will go into frame 2. Then I want it pad x equals, or pad x equals 16, and pad y equals 16 as well. Then comma border, make that 8, comma, then the color, font color. Okay, the font, that will be black. Then let's go for the font type itself, or font style. Let's make that area, and 20. Okay, then also make it bold, here and close that comma. Then the text, or maybe I should have that in here. Okay, underneath here, text equals number 7, comma, and the color of the text, the background for this very button will be powdered blue. So that's my background color. Then I will also need a command. I'm going to need a command. My command right now, maybe, okay, I'll be using lambs there. Equals, maybe I should just call it button click. That's what I'm going to call it. I think this is in lowercase. Right, it's in lowercase. So I'll call it btn click. Alright, it's not going to do anything now. In fact, it will give me an error because I still have to define the function. Okay, let's pack it anyway. Oh, sorry, let's put it in a grid. Alright, that would be in row number 2. Yeah, row number 2, and let it go into column equals 0. Close that. That is for my very first button. Although I will have an error, this is supposed to be dot. Okay, I will have an error. So to take care of that error, alright, I now need to declare a function. So maybe I should declare that right up here inside where the calculator is. Anyway, why not? btn click. Alright, that's supposed to be my function. Okay, what I want this function to do is to actually take in some values. So maybe I should enter numbers here. Numbers. Okay, we have number there. I just noticed something. This is supposed to be a comma here. Right. Okay, now let's have a global variable in here. Let's go for, alright, operator. I'm going to call that operator. Okay, let's copy it and just say operator right now is nothing. Operator value equals nothing. And the variable right here, this very one, input, I might as well just enter my operator there. Input, this very one, let me copy it and bring it down. Input equals sets dot set, and that will be nothing as well, empty. So for my variable operator that I entered up here, where is it? Right here. Let's just say equals empty. Okay. Okay. So if I run it now, nothing will happen, although it will show the buttons, because I still need to take care of these. So let's just run it so that you guys see it. There we have button 7 there, but nothing is happening. So what we want the system to do is, if I click on this, I expect button 7 there. So let's take care of that. We'll come back in here. Okay, instead of making that empty, we will enter our operator there. Let's copy and just paste the operator in there. But it's still not going to work because we now need to enter some value in the operator equals operator plus the numbers itself. So I'm actually referring to these numbers right there. Okay, just like you have inside Visual Basic. Okay, if we run it now, let's see what's going to happen. And there you see that, guys. So the button is now working. All I just need to do now is copy button 7, copy that, paste. That will be button number 8. So now that we've taken care of 7, we now have 8, and change this to 8. So if that is, that will also be in row 2, and that will be column 1. So I'm just going to copy it again, copy, paste that for button number 9, column 2. Okay, so we have 9 here. This will be button number 9. Okay, now let's create addition. Okay, we're working on button addition, so let's paste that in there, paste, and change the data in here to plus sign, and that would be all. I think no, we change this to column 3. So if let's save it and run. Alright, that is what we have, but addition is missing, and all this one is still showing 7. Let's see why. Okay, it's showing 7 because we still have 7 in here. So change that to 8. This is 9, and addition will be addition right there. Okay, so let's give it a try one more time, then we can just speed it up. Alright, so we have all of them working, but the addition is missing. Let's see what happened. Addition is not defined. Alright, let's see, what did I do wrong? Oh, addition should have been a button. Let's copy that. Addition is a button, paste that in there, run. Okay guys, you see that. So what I would now do is just speed it all up now that you guys get the whole idea. Okay, I've actually speed it up. Here are the lines of code, the very first one that we did together. And for row number 3, there we go. Those are the lines of codes. Okay, have a good look at this, at the lines of codes, please. So we come back down, and rule number 4, those are the lines of codes. Rule number 5, those are the lines of codes. They are all very similar, but there's something, if you notice, the command is missing here. That is for the equals and the clear command. They are both missing, so we take care of that. But first thing first, let's run the program so that you see how it works. This is how the program is looking right now. I have all of the components, all of the buttons in place. Okay, the operators are not doing anything now. Okay, clear is not working, equals is not working yet, so let's take care of clear and equals. Alright, close that. Let's go back into where we have our function here. So right here we start with function clear. So let's go for define btn clear display. Right there, enter your parentheses and press enter. We have a global variable ready, so I'm just going to copy that, paste it right here. Okay, the same global variable, but this time around I want it to be empty, so get rid of that. Just come here, equals nothing. And we also want to set this, the text input, we want to set that to nothing as well. So that will have taken care of the clear button. Right, so if we have a look at it, okay, clear the system. That's all we've just done there. I'm going to copy this and I'll come down to where I have my clear command here. So enter comma, go in there, command equals lambda, okay, column there. So that should clear the system. So if I run it, let's give that a try again. Run it now. Come down here, enter whatever value we want in there, hit the clear button. The clear is not working yet. Let's see, is there any error? Let's see. Alright, as you can see guys, the clear is now working, and guess what, there's no error. When I come back in here, what I've noticed is I actually say lambda. I don't need no lambda for that, so I will have to delete that. That's my own mistake. So let's run it again. Enter some more values in there and try the clear button. You see that guys? So we don't need the magic function lambda for the clear, so that's good. Now we need one more function, and that will be for the equals. So underneath here, I want to declare another function there. I'll call it btn equals input, okay, there, and my global variables, just copy all of this and just delete as we go. There, I have my global variable in place. Now right here I need to sum up. Okay, first thing first, let's just arrange this, paste this here. Now I'm going to need a local variable I refer to as sum up. Okay, convert whatever is in there to string and evaluate whatever we have inside the operator there. Okay, now sum up. Let's call sum up right in here. Paste that in there. That is sum up in there. And once it's sum up, clear the operator. I think that should do it. So let's run it and see what will happen. Oh, just before then, we need to actually, it's not going to work. I need to assign this to a command. So copy that and come right down, and right here, okay, right in here, let's enter command, command equals btn equals input. So let's run the program now. Okay, position it properly so that you can see it. Let's say 3 times 6 equals 18. Clear button was 45 divided by 9 equals that. You see, the calculator is working. So I'll just call it the end of the very first part of this tutorial, and I'll see you guys in the second part.